Hi friends, I am Suchitra Kalyan Mohanty, an assistant editor in the New Indian Express newspaper in Delhi. Today, in a landmark judgment, the Supreme Court's five-judge constitutional bench, headed by the Chief Justice of India, Dr. Dhananjay Yaswant Chandrachud, said and held that the electoral bonds as unconstitutional and directed banks to stop the selling of bonds forthwith. The union has been unable to establish the measure adopted in clause 741 of the Electoral Bonds Scheme Act, the Supreme Court said in its judgment today. This judgment has various implications and has been a great supporter for all these activists, lawyers, and analysts. The top courts also said that the amendments to Income Tax Act provision and the Section 29C of the Representatives of People's Act are declared to be ultra virus. So let us understand what is this electoral bond is all about. So let us understand what is an electoral bond. An electoral bond is an instrument in the nature of a promissory note or bearer fund which can be purchased by any individual, company, firm, or association of persons provided the person or body is a citizen of India and incorporated in established in India. Electoral bonds were introduced through Finance Act 2016 and 17, which in turn amended three other statutes, the RBI Act, the Income Tax Act, and the Representation of the People Act, for enabling introduction of such kind of bonds. So thereby, these various petitions have been filed before the top court challenging at least these amendments which made to different statutes through Finance Act on the ground that they have opened doors to unlimited unchecked funding of political parties. The petitions filed by ADR and other petitioners sought that the money bill route was adopted in order to bypass the Rajya Sabha, where the ruling BJP government doesn't have a majority. So I think it is now clear what is a electoral bond is all about. The petitioners ADR, Common Cause, Jaya Thakur had moved the Supreme Court and challenged these electoral bond schemes in 2017 and subsequently also. They claimed that the consequence of the amendments was that annual contribution reports of these political parties to be furnished to the Election Commission of India need not mention the names and addresses of those persons, individuals, by contributing by way of electoral bonds, thereby killing the transparency in this kind of political fundings. But now, the Supreme Court's historic and landmark judgment has put a stop on this entire electoral bond schemes. The apex court in its verdict directed that the SBI has to stop issuing electoral bonds immediately and also should disclose all kinds of submission and all the details to the Election Commission of India within a period of 3 weeks by March 6. The SBI must disclose and each encashment to the Election Commission of India and within this 3 weeks period. It has a lot of significance over the electoral bond scheme. So let us analyze what kind of significance this will have on the impact. Legal experts believe that this kind of judgment, today's judgment, will have a good impact in the society, in the democratic system of functioning. How? Because the lack of privacy of political affiliation is now almost being stopped by the Supreme Court in the judgment of 2 days. Talking to New Indian Express newspaper, legal experts, educationists, and RTI activists termed this today's verdict of the Supreme Court on electoral bond scheme as historic judgment and a landmark, and will help make the payment of money process more transparent and enrich our democracy and form of government. Noted legal expert of India and lawyer Prashant Bhushan welcomed the verdict and said it is historic. It is a very significant and historic judgment which will have a long-term effect on our electoral democracy. Now, at least people will get to know about the process of funding to political parties in a more transparent manner. The Supreme Court have held that this violates the fundamental right of information of citizens to know about who is contributing this much money to any kind of political parties. Also, retired Delhi High Court Judge Justice R.S. Sodhi, while talking to this Indian newspaper said that definitely this verdict of the Supreme Court is landmark, no doubt about it. The system of transparency will definitely increase, although can't be 100%. This verdict is really a very good for democracy. This verdict will definitely restore people's faith in the system of democracy. Retired Patna High Court Judge Justice Anjana Prakash, talking to the New Indian Express, said that the verdict would have far-reaching positive impact on our democracy and political system. The judgment was a very straightforward case of demonstrating unconstitutionally, but it should have come much earlier. She, however, clarified that the judgment is not against any party or any ruling party or any ruling BJP government, as it is certainly the party which may have to furnish the entire explanation for any kind of political funding to the Election Commission of India. The right to information activist Anjali Bharadwaj said that the relentless pursuit of association of democratic reforms and other petitioners in this case have been considered by the Supreme Court in declaring this law as unconstitutional. This judgment, while be having far-reaching good impact on our society and democracy. Professor Jagdeep Chokar of ADR, which had challenged the EVs in the Supreme Court, said the ruling would help to bring some transparency in the system. It is a great verdict which all will be cherished in future. Noted legal expert of India, Kapil Sibal, said that this is a scheme to enrich the political party. It is not meant for elections at all. It is a fact. Electoral bond is a misnomer. It has nothing to do with elections. It is a bonding between the corporate sector and some party. This is a historic verdict the Supreme Court had pronounced latest. Senior Supreme Court lawyer Dushyant Debe also said that the judgment has much more significance in our society and democratic setup in the recent times. We all know that the government has brought all these amendments through finance bill, which itself was unconstitutional and shocking. And therefore, every one of these amendments which have been made to facilitate this kind of dishonest scheme will have to be undone. And today the Supreme Court judgment itself has undone it beautifully. I am Suchitra Kalyan Mohanty. Thank you for watching the video.